I want to acknowledge that I haven't commented on Russia or Ukraine at all. I don't have expertise in this area, and I don't have much to add to the reporting or analysis. But I have been following developments closely on a daily basis, like most of you. I don't intend for any of my lighthearted posts to be tone deaf at all, but I also knew that everyone on this platform and other platforms have been doing a superior job at sharing information about the war. Most of us still need to go to work every day, and I wanted to make sure that for me, as much for anyone who will listen, that we can smile in dark times. I wanted to remind myself that I can still laugh and sing when humans are still hell-bent on death and destruction. Tomorrow isn't guaranteed, and the next day could be our last. But I don't have to be an expert to say this. I personally stand with the Ukrainian people. I immigrated from a war-torn country myself, and I relate to the immense suffering they're experiencing. I know firsthand what consequences mass displacement from your homeland will have on family members for generations to come. From the Ukrainian standpoint especially, Russia has launched a nonsensical, unprovoked invasion into their homeland. The primary global response to this immoral incursion is to target Russian oligarchs and their crypto safe havens. The strategy, as I understand it, is to hit the oligarchs where it hurts, their wallets. The shocking thing is that the crypto companies are complying with the sanctions. If you're a metaverse, blockchain, cryptocurrency purist, everything should be decentralized. The individual should have a right to anonymity. The individual owns their own data. The individual has unfettered access to their own money. That's clearly not true if Russian oligarchs as individuals can be shut out of their accounts by private crypto companies. I won't list all of the private companies that are cooperating with the sanctions because it's evolving so quickly, but I will say that the major ones have signed on, and they control the on-ramp to accessing cryptocurrency funds. To quote the Washington Post, the industry takes sanctions compliance very seriously and employ a host of tools including the use of blockchain analytics, trade surveillance, and internet geotagging, said Michelle Bond, CEO of the Association for Digital Asset Markets, an industry trade group. We are entering a time where diligence to the utmost degree will be necessary and continued public-private information sharing will be key. I say that it's shocking not because that's a personal opinion that I have, but because it doesn't conform to one of the major tenets of blockchain and its promise of financial freedom from banking middlemen and other mediated entities. It doesn't come as a surprise to some, like me, who believe that these technological innovations ultimately become centralized in a capitalist economy anyway, but it is to the shock and dismay of others. I don't have a political opinion to express at all about the cooperation of these private crypto companies who have provided user-friendly, KYC-enabled cryptocurrency access to the masses. One of the perhaps few ways to truly achieve fundamental financial freedom and to use the blockchain the way it was intended is to run your own node on the blockchain itself. That is far too complicated for consumers at large. In terms of the metaverse, it could also be completely centralized one day in its stable mainstream form, especially if the underlying payment and reward system, the cryptocurrency blockchain, is central to the functioning of the metaverse economy. So I want to close this out by going back to Russia. It is technically a democratic, law-based federal republic, but it's effectively run by the oligarchy. That is to say, President Vladimir Putin is very popular because his policies have made a handful of businessmen very, very rich. And the rich continue to throw support behind Putin. However, if these same businessmen are seeing that their wealth, including cryptocurrency funds, is being vaporized by the US-led sanctions, they could remove their support from Putin and end his war if the right disincentives are in place. Alternatively, some geopolitical analysts say Putin has more madman machinations in mind, and it's theorized that he is trying to restore the Soviet Union to its former glory by re-annexing all of its former territories. Unfortunately, crypto sanctions won't do anything to change Putin's maniacal pursuit of the latter, if true.